Marcus Aurelius. You have the power to control your mind, not the external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Very few things are needed to create a happy life. All of them are within the way you think. Today I escaped anxiety, not because it is no longer there, but because I realized it comes from my perception, not from the outside. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. Accept what fate gives you, and love those who fate brings to you. But do so with all your heart. Limit yourself to the present. When you wake up in the morning, think that being alive, breathing, thinking, enjoying, and being loved is a precious gift. Anything that happens to you was destined from the beginning of time. Living happily is an inner strength of the soul. You can commit an injustice by doing nothing. Do not waste more time debating who a good person should be. Become that person. Do everything as if it were your last act. Do not fear death, but fear not having begun to live. Remind yourself that your task is to become a good person. Do not complain, not even to yourself. Accept what comes without arrogance. Let go without attachment. What obstructs action promotes action. What blocks the way becomes the way. Do not make yourself a tool of material things or people who can give or take those material things. A person who does a good deed does not call others to see it, but continues to perform other good deeds, just as a vine continues to bear fruit in season. There are those who fear change, but what can happen without change? Everything needs to change to be useful. Accept without pride, and let go without clinging. When you have chosen values like goodness, honesty, humility, hold firm to them, and if you lose them, quickly return to them. I always wonder why people love themselves more than anyone else, but value others' opinions more than their own. Be content with yourself, and do not fear your last day, nor expect it to come. Everything will cease to exist after a time. See this as natural and not strange. The only way to happiness is to stop worrying about things outside our control. When your thoughts, words, and actions align, you eliminate anxiety and fear. Do not be vague. If you want to be extraordinary, define the kind of person you want to become. If you seek the truth, you do not need to fear defeat, for truth always prevails. Let silence be your rule, or speak only what is necessary, and speak briefly. First, define who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Circumstances do not make the person, they only reveal the person to themselves. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life, and it is achieved by disregarding what is outside our control. We cannot choose the external circumstances, but we can always choose how to respond to them. Do not explain your philosophy, live it. People are not disturbed by events, but by how they perceive them. Sometimes, simply living is an act of courage. Seneca. True happiness is enjoying the present without depending on hope or fear for the future. Fortune comes from preparation meeting opportunity. All cruelty stems from weakness. There is no easy way from the ground to the stars. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. We often suffer more in imagination than in reality. Life is like a story. It is not important how long it is, but how good it is. You behave like a mortal in all that you fear, but like an immortal in all that you desire. Keep the enthusiasm of youth, you will be able to use it better as you grow older. If a person does not know which harbor they are heading for, no wind is favorable. The power of the mind is invincible. It is not that we have too little time, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is not short, but we make it short by wasting it. It is not the person with little who is poor, but the person who is greedy is truly poor. Start living immediately and treat each day as a life of its own. The brave are the free. There is no need to lament a part of life. The entire life is what is worth lamenting. If you truly want to escape what troubles you, what you need is not a different place, but to become a different person. No one ever became wise by chance. Until we begin to let go, we realize that many things are really unnecessary. We use them not because we need them, but because we have them. They lose the whole day waiting for the night, and the night fearing the dawn. Make friends with those who can improve you. The one who suffers more than necessary is the one who suffers before it is necessary. Only time can heal what reason cannot. Ignorance is the root of fear. Procrastination is the greatest waste of life. It takes away each day as it comes and refuses the present by promising the future. The greatest obstacle to living is expectation, always hanging on to tomorrow and losing today. All the future is uncertain. Live now. The strongest person is the one who masters themselves. Life is like a play. It is not about how long it is, but how well it is performed. Wealth is the slave of the wise and the master of the fool. Enjoy the pleasures of the present in a way that does not harm the pleasures of the future. If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to others' opinions, you will never be wealthy. As long as you are alive, keep learning how to live. People carefully guard their personal possessions, but waste their time, the one thing they should save. The sun also shines on the wicked. The sword does not kill anyone by itself. It is merely a tool in the hands of the murderer. Idleness without books is like death and burial of a living person. Every new beginning comes from the end of another beginning. A very old man sometimes has no proof of his longevity except his age. We do not learn in school but from life. A gift is not about what is given or done, but the intent of the giver or doer. Plato. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Every heart sings a song incomplete until another heart whispers back. Those who want to sing always find a song. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. The wise man speaks because he has something to say. The fool speaks because he has to say something. We can easily forgive a child afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Only the dead have seen the end of war. How I wish that the good people did not care about public affairs, for they would be ruled by bad people. Do not force a child to learn by force or harshness, but guide them with what makes them interested. The heaviest punishment when refusing to rule is being ruled by someone inferior to you. According to Greek mythology, humans were originally created with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a head with 2 faces. Zeus, fearing their power, split them into 2 parts, condemning them to search for their other half throughout their lives. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. Do not discourage anyone who is making progress, no matter how slow. Love is a serious illness of the mind. Those who refuse to participate in politics will be ruled by those inferior to them. A good person does not need laws to know how to act responsibly, while a bad person will always find ways to bypass the law. The measure of a person's value is what they do with their power. Ignorance is the root and stem of all crime. If women are expected to do the same work as men, we must teach them the same things. Those who tell stories will rule society. Human behavior stems from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. Madness for love is the greatest blessing of heaven. Education is teaching children to desire what is right. There are three types of people: those who love knowledge, those who love honor, and those who love profit.